Hey guys, I'm on WeFi today. It's been a phenomenal journey for the last 6 months as I've been part of this platform, and it's only getting bigger and more impressive as we're gonna go. So let's do a short introduction about it, shall we? Often we said, right, if only I had been part of the tech revolution before it got really big. Anybody knows that? Yeah. Be part of Facebook when I was just a Harvard student directory, or part of Bitcoin when it was an idea and only a few cents. I know people like that. Amazon, when Jeff Bezos ran it from his garage. Actually, Dr. John was offered shares when it happened like that. He didn't do it. ChatGPT before it became the fastest adopted software in history. Often we weren't invited, right? Let's just face it. We may have missed out on those, but today you have a chance to get in on a project that's about to change the world, the way the world moves money, the way the financial industry is working forever. So, what is WeFi? How can you participate in this Web3 and AI? We're going to actually show you, of course, right now. Just so you know, first and foremost, I am a community leader. I am not part of the executive team of WeFi. This information is not financial advice. We encourage you to conduct your own research, and the investment for any kind of investment decisions or anything you purchase always slowly rest with you. But what is WeFi? It's the world's first deal banking platform. It's a new kind of financial system that uses Web3. We'll talk about what Web3 is to build and empower a community, to reward a community for attracting others to the platform and reward users with better products, faster services, and lower fees, all in the financial industry. Okay, so let's see what it actually is connected to. The core focus of WeFi is on cryptocurrency, banking, and remittance. It is a $3 trillion industry, guys. Its estimated commissionable market fees are phenomenal, and expected annual growth across those three core industries that we're talking about is 15 to 20% annually. So we're not talking about a small market, right? We're dominating a market. Our AI-based platform is helping others, and the actually potential is over 3 billion new adopters enter the crypto marketplace every single in the next few years. And so, yeah, this is all part of that. And it's already happening. If you feel like, and this is, I call it the bridge between cryptocurrency and regular finance, where it actually is, where we're integrating more and more these two things. And people say, oh, that's far away. It's not going to happen. It's already happening. I love this thing from BlackRock where it's launching its tokenized treasury fund on Uniswap, making it the the latest major financial institution to step into decentralized finance. Really, really an amazing, phenomenal opportunity here. Fidelity Investments started its own stablecoin in a massive bet that future of banking is on the blockchain. To me, it's almost now like, yeah, duh. But these are big institutions saying the same thing. So what's actually happening? This is WeFi founder Reeve Collins. He is the co-founder of USDT Tether, and then that's number three world's biggest cryptocurrency and phenomenal pioneer in the crypto industry. And he is the founder of WeFi. So let's listen to him for a second.
The Deal Bank is, instead of using the traditional system, it's online, but it's using the future system, the blockchain. And so what that enables is just better services at cheaper rates, because the blockchain does what the regular system does, but just much, much, much more efficiently and on a global scale.
The whole concept is here that the next part of banking and banking happens on the blockchain. That's the real concept. Let's look a little more at him. Another thing that he said in an interview during Binance Week in February of 2026.
What do you say to countries that are so not ready and so far behind when it comes to stablecoins?
That it's coming, and that a large percentage of their population in those countries are utilizing them in some way, shape, or form. And maybe a large percentage of their population is overstating it. I always get asked, how big is the market? How many people are using stablecoins and crypto? And to me, everybody. But I know that that's not true, right? I just kind of wish it was. And in my world, it seems like it, because that's where I exist. But as the ease of use and access to crypto and stable coins, and this is what WeFi is trying to drive, trying to create a really elegant, easy to use for end users solution to crypto and better banking experience. As that becomes more and more common, more and more people will utilize it. And those countries, their regulations ideally will catch up.
So what's actually happening here on this decentralized platform is that the future of banking is on the blockchain. So it's using an on the blockchain system. And they're also heavily used, of course, of stablecoins, which is, again, a cryptocurrency that is very closely related to a fiat currency, the euro or the US dollar. And again, there is many advantages to using a stablecoin to actually do transactions with. Now, let's talk about, as you've seen already, Reeve Collins, but let's talk about who is involved in this whole entire industry. Reeve Collins, of course, we talked about being the chairman and board member and the former founder and former CEO of Tether. Again, one of the most pioneers in this industry and in the cryptocurrency industry, and a true visionary about what's actually happening. Khaled Suleiman here is the former CEO of the National Bank of Abu Dhabi, also many, many years in executive roles, including in Switzerland, in the financial world and in the banking world specifically. Maxim Sakharov, very experienced in the cryptocurrency and the industry, and here also the former CEO of Xflow and currently also functioning as the CEO of WEFI. Roman Rasev and Yusuf are both very experienced in the cryptocurrency, in the financial tech, and Roman Rasev, of course, many of people know Wise, and so he is also the former product director of Wise. So with this, I also want to mention Michael Batuov, who's not on this because he's not an original founder. He came in November of 2025. He is an ex-Visa lead and very experienced in payment systems. And so he also came on board. This is kind of a really important thing to look at all these different people from different industry, including fintech, banking, cryptocurrency, combining together a really, really important team. So why is WeFi what I call a blue ocean opportunity to get in? Well, today over 4.5 billion people use still traditional banking, but only 10% of those people use crypto. Plus, there are an additional 1.5 billion people that are currently unbanked. They do not have a bank. So as we are combining cryptocurrency with regular finance, also with the coming of AI agents and things like that, this is a phenomenal opportunity to create a new financial system that actually, of course, provides opportunity for both regular financial banking, but also banking on the blockchain as well. So that's what we're looking currently at. And talking about the 1.5 billion that are unbanked, they're all in need of banking services. They all have access with the WeFi app to quickly do that. And they are all awarded with ease of use and better services at remarkably cheaper rates. And that's often an issue for a lot of the people who are unbanked, that it's actually very expensive to transfer funds and things like that. So focusing on the countries that need it the most. Let's listen one more time and listen to the community and what the community first model is of WeFi.
The beauty of WeFi is we're also putting the community first, and WeFi is truly delivering on the promise of Web3, which is ensuring the community is the one that gets rewarded for participation.
Okay, so let's see how the community is rewarded. Because of course we know things like Airbnb, right? And several of the Uber and for things like that too, where the community got rewarded. And that's when a company and a kind of service really started growing, right? Who thought ever that people would sleep in a house of somebody else instead of a hotel, or get a car that would just drive them instead of a taxi, just doing a fiat app. They all created platforms that were remarkably convenient and also gave rewards to the community. And this is what Reeve Collins talks about. So let's see a little more.
Because while we do provide very efficient banking services in a very beautiful package, there are a lot of people providing banking services. So how do you get ahead in that? You get lots of customers by making them your investors and by rewarding them the most and by giving them the rewards of the network. And the larger the network grows, the more the consumers get. So that's the approach we're taking with WeFi, and really focused on the countries that do need it most.
Love that. All right, so how do they actually put the community first? Let's talk about that. And it's called the profit split. There's actually two ways, but the profit split we're going to talk about first, and then we're also talking about a token and bank shares that you also can get. So look at this for a second, right? Cryptocurrency. There are 100 billion in commissionable fees, banking 1.5 trillion in fee and income commissions, and remittance 40 billion in commissionable fees. What if of that fees, the settled, right? The settled fees, 50% goes, of course, to the company, to WeFi, but 50% goes to the community. And the larger you build your community, the more you're going to get. Now, all these transactions fees are settled in real time on the blockchain and made possible because of Web3. Now, this is an example, 2 minutes of payout of one of the people in WeFi, and it shows you how quickly, do you see that? 831, 831, 831, all these tiny little kind of, this is actually this happened on the blockchain. USDT is a stable coin on the blockchain. Do you see all these little tiny transactions can really add up to a lot? And that's what's happening in regular financial services too nowadays, right? But now the community can be part of that too. So that's the first part of all the things we talked about, right? That happen in financial services. 50% goes to the community and 50% goes to WeFi. Now, here's another one. And that is, you can also stake ITOs. You can get a WFI token through 2023. 2032. That's it, 2032. You can purchase what they call ITOs, notes, and you can earn shares in WeFi. Now, how does that work? Let's look, for example, at this one. If you have $1,000 of purchase today, you get ITOs, you get a notes, and those produce tokens for the next 6.5 years until 2032. Now, for example, say those $1,000 will give you 5,000 WFI tokens. That's not a promise, it's not a projection, it's just a position at this point. Let's look at what that could mean. ITO purchase of $1,000 gives you 5,000 WFI token. Let's see what the potential is as that it's currently around $2. It's going up and down a little bit, but let's see if that token goes to $25.31. It's absolutely possible to do that. The value of your ITO purchase would then be $126,550. We can do the same thing with $2,000 or $5,000 and see what the value could be. Now, again, I can't say for sure that this is going to be 5,000 or this is going to be 25,000. But even if you are really like toning it down and say, okay, $1,000 will give $1,000, for example, at that point, it would still be quite a lot of money, right? Because 1,000, like, would be still be 1,000 turning into 25,000, a fifth of that, even if we're all being very, very conservative. Okay, so that is the potential that we're talking about here. 10,000, 50,000, over 1 million. Okay. Again, if you want to be conservative and cut this by 10%, then this would still be a phenomenal increase in value. Okay. After 7 years of expansion, this could be the worth of the tokens. We don't know exactly where it's going to go, but it is truly a phenomenal position. Now, is it crazy that the tokens could go that high? No, it's actually not. If you look at Bitcoin and its increase over the years, right? 60,000, actually more than 60,000 right now, but it could be, we can compare it to that. Ethereum went from 31 cents to over 4,000, 1.3 million increase, and Binance went from 15 cents to over $1,300. Okay, phenomenal increase in 7 years of growth. It is totally possible. So if the WEFI token grew by more than 800% in 2025, no guarantee, but if it could do the same thing as these guys. BNB is the first cryptocurrency token, crypto exchange token. Avi is an exchange that has to do with lending services. If we could only go that far, it could really be phenomenal. So why does WeFi work? Well, WeFi doesn't ask people to leave the system. It upgrades it. It makes it available to all. Not something different, but a little bit more some advanced. We were the most performing projects in 2025. You can see 821.9% growth on CoinMarketCap. So really, really phenomenal way. We're not early to crypto anymore. Just start realizing that we're not, right? But we are early to infrastructure. We are early to how crypto is being used in the real world finance, and that is coming up. Web 1, Web 2, and Web 3, you probably have heard about it. Web 1 was really, we just got a lot of information. Web 2 is where a lot of companies got really rich because we started using services. We started interacting with services such as social media and things like that. Now, Web 3 all has to do with community and ownership. That's what's coming, that you can have a piece of the pie, guys. And that's what we're talking about. And WeFi is right in the middle of that. Okay. Web 2 made companies rich, but Web 3 makes users owners. And that's what we're talking about here. How Web3 is really adopted? Well, as we're going through this whole entire change, right? Going from the regular financial service to really being on the blockchain, using stable coins and doing just talking into your phone and saying, hey, I want to do this much to this person, and then things are being done. That is the more we can make that easier and convenient for people, the better and easier it's going to be adopted. And that's what you're really already seeing. With Web3, you see familiar experiences and invisible Web3. It's not adopted through ideology, it's adopted through everyday value, making things easier for people, and that makes it go really, really fast. The winning pattern is also when the experience feels familiar, the improvement is obvious, and the complexity stays invisible. That's when it all becomes easy. And that's how it actually happens. So Web3 won't replace banks overnight. It will outperform them quietly. Please read that again. Web3 won't replace banks overnight, but it will outperform them quietly. And that's what's going to make all the system. So why is banking the perfect on-ramp for all of this and for Web3? Well, because people already understand cards, right? Debit cards. They already understand apps. They already understand rewards, and they already start accounts and bank accounts. Banking is the perfect on-ramp for Web3, and you can have a part of that. The greatest pain in wealth building, of course, isn't losing money. It is watching a 10x growth, knowing you could have been on it. So I hope you're not one of those. When adoption does what adoption does, in this case, for example, if you go from 5,000 WFI tokens, they don't get cheaper, they get unavailable. So a total of 1 billion WFI tokens will be distributed to the community only by 2032. People won't say, I wish I believed more. They say, I should have bought more ITOs when it was still possible. Okay, I'm already saying that. It's only been 6 months for me, but it's already there. So 1,000 purchases a day can buy you 5,000, for example, 5,000 WFI tokens of the next 6.5 years. Is that worth it? Yeah, in my opinion, fully. So the takeaway, WeFi won't win because people believe in it. It will win because people use it. Bitcoin wasn't just a coin, it was a signal that most people ignored. Not because they were stupid, because it felt uncomfortable, because it felt risky, because it felt too new. In 2011, people lost wallets worth millions because it wasn't serious. In 2017, they said it was a bubble. In 2020, they said it was too late. And when it hit 60K, they said they missed it. And now it's over 70K. It's going to go over to 120K. Every major wealth shift in history rewards the people who feel slightly stupid at the beginning. So, internet in the 90s, social media in 2008, crypto in 2013. What is the opportunity today of the infrastructure? Decentralized finance, digital banking infrastructure, AI, and tokenized equity. And if you don't understand all these, please come and talk to us more because we'd love to explain it more. But there is a truth that right now, there is an opportunity to go from the whole financial world that we have towards building this all on chain, on the blockchain, and you have an opportunity to be rewarded and be part of that. That is a phenomenal opportunity, guys. Let's listen to Reeve Collins one more time.
Look, I'll tell you, for the user, the future is bright. And so AI, massive impact on everything. And to me, AI is going to have a significant impact on the blockchain and our ecosystem and how people interact with the ecosystem. Most importantly, people are going to stop asking what chain is it on, or which stablecoin are you going to use, or, how do I best send the money here or there? They're not going to care anymore, because they're going to ask their AI, or I should say, tell their AI, tell their wallet. It won't even be their AI. They're literally going to talk to their wallet and say, do this, like send $10 to my friend in Japan, send it in the fastest, cheapest way. They're not going to care which stable coins used or which networks used or anything else. People are going to finally start focusing on getting done what they want done versus how to get it done. So what do people want done? They want to make payments. They want to make investments. They want to be involved in different communities. And right now, to make payments and do investments in the crypto space, it's complicated, especially if you want to do self-custody. It's very complicated. There's lots of risks. You might lose your password. You might get hacked. And so and since it's so complicated, the best user interface isn't going to mask that complication. The only way to solve like this interface moment for blockchain where the masses can participate is through AI. And so, and that's coming soon, and it's probably coming faster than we think.
Indeed, it's already happening and it's faster. Web3 is confusing today, maybe a little bit. It'll be normal, totally normal in 5 years. And most people won't even know it's all being built. Banking is being rebuilt, ownership is being rebuilt. And the question is not, will Web3 grow with WeFi? It will, how will I be positioned when it does? Choice today is simple. You can sit on the sidelines and one day tell people, I watched it happen. Or join WeFi today while you can. Not emotionally, strategically, not recklessly, but positioned. The future of finance is being written, guys. It's on the blockchain. The only thing left to decide is, can you afford to be on the sidelines, or are you going to be on the sidelines, or will your name be found in the WeFi community and have a real part of this and be a real part of this? Well, we're going to invite you to be part of that. It's simple. When WeFi wins, the community wins, and that includes you. So we invite you to join the WeFi community while the opportunity lasts. Get back to the person who got you here, and trust me when I said what Kevin O'Leary said, if you don't take a risk, you will always lose. This is money your way. This is an opportunity to create something very different for yourself, for your family, for generational wealth, and this is your opportunity to do it. So hope you're going to do it. Thank you for being on this call, and we'll talk soon, and we'll go from there. All right, thanks so much, guys.